What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Byron Vasquez Jr. I'm a Los Angeles-based actor, and here you will find personal stories of my journey as an actor, as well as tips and tricks and other acting-related content. Today is Movie Tuesday. We are not at an AMC. I am back inside my living room streaming from my Redbox account, Morbius. Now, I've been really excited to watch this movie because I do like the MCU movies, and this is one that's related to Venom and the Spider-Man. I was excited watching these characters battle it out on Spider-Man when I was a kid. They are finally in the big screen, or actually on the small screen in my living room. Before we get started with the review, check out this little announcement on how you could use my affiliate link to download Redbox and watch Morbius from the comfort of your very own home, but then meet me back here after for my review. Hey guys, as you know, I'm an actor, which means I love movies. And since you're watching my channel, it's a sure bet that you love movies too. So, sign up for Redbox today through my affiliate link in the description box below to have access to hundreds of movie titles on demand, on DVD, through the kiosk, and even early access to some anticipated films of the year. Just sign up with a password and email and you're ready to enjoy your favorite movies in the comfort of your own home.
This into the world. It's up to me to take it out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt like during the movie. So, I just finished watching the movie Morbius. It was not my favorite film. I hesitated making this review because watching the movie, it really didn't do anything for me. It wasn't great, it wasn't bad, it was just kind of meh. The movie stars Jared Leto, who plays a guy with a rare blood disease who happens to be a scientific genius who finds a way to mix DNA from bats and humans and create a super powerful vampire race. I mean, a cure for his disease. I don't understand this because the bats weren't even radioactive. So he gets the bat DNA and he gets human DNA and he creates powers. I have no idea actually how he turned to be superhuman because he took regular bat DNA, he took human DNA, and then he mixes them together. Now he has powers, he has claws, and his eyes are turning red, he has this demonic face, and he's jumping and flying and kicking and screaming, he has superhuman strength. How does he have superhuman strength if the bats were normal? And the humans were normal? I have no idea. And that's one of the things that were inconsistent about this film. He's jumping, and then he flies. He was in this underground tunnel in the subway, and then he was reaching out to God or feeling the vibrations of the train. I don't know, but he just starts to fly. Could he fly? Could he not fly? Because half the movie he's just jumping around. He's never really flying until that part, and then at the end of the film where he flies with the bats, so I'm like, is it he's riding the sound waves of the bats? So I was very confused as to that part. The plot was very formulaic. His best friend was his enemy, a shocker in every movie. Guess who's the enemy? The best friend. I thought that they could have done something different because there was no indication that the best friend was going to be a bad guy other than in the beginning of the movie where the kid is being bullied and then he fights the bullies back. And he's also sick, but then he's a good guy. He's a good friend throughout the entire beginning of the movie, and then he goes evil. He gets a hold of the serum, and he takes it. He starts killing everybody. He kills her adopted father. He kills a random nurse. He kills everybody. He wants to even kill Morbius himself. It was never suspenseful. It was never sad. One of the reasons because of this is the characters had no chemistry. Nobody had chemistry with any of them. Morbius didn't have any chemistry with his best friend. He barely had any chemistry with the girl that he was, I guess, falling in love with. I don't know. Not even Tyrese and the other cop had any chemistry with each other. Tyrese seemed like he was playing a serious detective, and the cop, I think, is a comedian, and he was trying to throw in there a little comedy, but rein it back. The film felt like it just didn't know what it wanted to be. It kind of tried to be thriller and suspense, but it kind of wanted to be a superhero movie. It just kind of took a safe space in the middle and just kind of did nothing. And for a movie where you have this guy who creates a vampire species who now has claws and a demonic face, there's no suspense, there's no thrills, there's no none of that, it gets a little boring. The movie that did it well was The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was a Batman movie, it was a superhero movie, but there was elements of horror when the Joker came out, and he really elevated it, brought the suspense and the fear to it. So that was really interesting, which they could have done in this movie, but they didn't. It just kind of became a vampire, killed a bunch of people, and he's like, well, I can't do this anymore, so I'm just gonna stop. There's not much action in the film other than him just flying around and throwing other people around. Him and his best friend finally start fighting. There's like the scuffle on the subway station where they're just tossing each other around, but you can't see it because they're both vampire superhuman beings, so they're just slamming each other through walls, and then the cops arrest him. I felt like the movie wanted to borrow elements from the Batman series. I think the usage of the bats and how it helped him in his fight scenes, I guess, very similarly to how the Christopher Nolan Batman uses the bats to help him in some fight scenes. In the part of the movie where Morbius fights the mercenaries on the boat, that's a scene that could have been very suspenseful. Who did it the best was in Batman Begins when they were at the docks. The first fight as Batman, how they made it so suspenseful, and I think they tried to emulate that in this movie, but they didn't quite get it because they just didn't build that suspense. The movie was directed by Daniel Espinosa, who doesn't have a lot of credits to his name, and it was not a bad directed movie, it was just an okay directed movie. If we're talking about the superhero movies and how the market is saturated with amazing superhero movies, when you put up this movie, which is just okay, by comparison, this movie is not that great. The only thing I really liked about the movie was when they introduced Michael Keaton, when they retconned this version of Marvel to the MCU, so now Morbius is connected. So even if they don't do a standalone film or a sequel, I'm sure they'll be able to bring in this character in any future installments of the Spider-Man or anything in the MCU in the future because they already connected it. Anyway, well, that is it for this movie review. Remember that every Tuesdays I put out new movie reviews, and every Sundays I put out blogs regarding my acting career. Please hit the like, the comment, and subscribe for more of my stories as an actor, as well as tips and tricks and other acting related content. But for now, that's a wrap.